ain't scared to lose a little, take a risk and make it back. Have you seen the way I train? Ain't no slipping off a track. Cause we only moving forward, ain't no way we going back. There's big money on the table, I'm not trying to break the rules. Cause my ego now I'm poor and I got bigger things to prove. I done stood the time to plan it out and now it's going smooth.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Extreme Lifestyle Living Podcast. Now today, honestly, I really want to talk about something today that means a lot to me. And that's obviously, I don't even know when I'm going to be releasing this episode. But today's episode, what I wanted to talk about was why bodybuilding means a lot to me, and particularly why this show means a lot to me. And for some of you guys that have been here for a long time, you guys have, I fucking love you guys so much. Got so much appreciation and admiration for you guys because you guys have been here through thick and thin my entire life. And I think that's why, again, a huge commonality of as to why I love the podcast is because it's so close to who I am as a person. I will give you my soul on this podcast because I just truly believe that, one, I do like to lead by example, and I just get a lot of fulfillment and empowerment from sharing my experiences and impacting other people, but also, just to help inspire anyone that needs help in these regards. And you know what I mean? If you're taking the time to listen to these out of your time and your energy and your space in your life, then, I appreciate you. So I feel like, I owe it to you. It's my due diligence to be as honest as I can. And, the bodybuilding show, what it means to me is it sounds cheesy, but it means everything. If you have been around here for a while, you know my story, but if you haven't, a quick snippet of it is, I don't come back from a very athletic background. I have never had very male dominant groups around me to pursue me or help me pursue athletic career. I never ran. I never played sports by any means of, physical attributes. I never did fucking nothing. I was bubble wrapped by my grandmother. I was in and out of foster care. So and I don't want to use that as a self-defining aspect to the story. But, as a young kid, I never did fucking nothing. I just didn't move. I didn't do much. And it is what it is. So for me, the gym has always just been all I understood and all I knew. And it's funny, I make this joke and it's and this sounds funny because it sounds biased and it sounds kind of sexist in a way. But when I started the gym, because all I've ever done, when I started the gym, it was back in 2007 when I went to the gym for the very first time. And it's I literally remember the only women that were in the gym were women that were either in high athletics being trained for a performance-based thing, or their jawlines were more chiseled than guys because they were taking steroids and they were bodybuilders. So for me to be in the gym, that's all I know. For me to get into bodybuilding, that was just my metric of measurement to progress my way through the gym. Me and Emma had a conversation the other day about, it's funny. This is how it started for me. Seriously, verbatim was I started the gym 2007, 2008, started getting into it. So I would have been about 12, 13, 14. And then moved to Ontario 2010. I was about 14, 15 around that time. And I went to the gym all the time. 2011, I was 16, got hit by a car, was in then started going to the gym for rehab purposes with a few years under my belt already. Went to college, got rehab fully, and then started just getting into more of as a young adult, between 18 and 20, starting to care about my image, my self-image. So I started to try to lose fat, gain muscle, look aesthetically pleasing. That's literally what I wanted. I wanted to look good in a t-shirt. I wanted to look good, take my shirt off, things like this. I never had those, right? And I never played sports, so I just cared about the aesthetics. That's why I look the way I do, because I trained to look good. I trained to look good my whole life. I never trained for anything else, and it's that's why I look the way I do, and a lot of people underestimate that because it's a different breed and a different style. Now, is this and obviously, I look really great in certain circumstances, but, that's another reason why I have so many injuries is because this type of training or that type of training style can hinder performance because it's not performance-based. But long story short, I organically just started getting into the gym, 19, 20, started to try to lose a little bit of fat. When I was 20, 21, third year college, third year university, I got into my first program. I got my first coach. I lost 35 pounds within 2 months, followed the program, got told what to eat, followed a meal plan, all these things. And I was I started off with I want to see a bicep vein. I want to see some abs. I got those 2 goals down. You know, I switched gyms. I felt like I was ready to go to a more public gym, and I was done my rehab from the car accident. So then I started seeing people in way better shape than I've ever seen in my life. And then, you know, like social media was around, so you started seeing people doing like these little bodybuilding shows and things like that, or, you know, these beach body things. And, you know, as a young kid, as a young man, 22, I was like, I remember I hired another coach, and I literally verbatim said to him, I was like, I want to do a competition prep diet to see what I look like, but I do not want to compete. I said that in the email. And then what I did about 6 to 7 months of that type of dieting to see what I could look like. Realized I was like, shit, I fucking look pretty good. This is sick. And then I organically got into bodybuilding. So and that for me, it was never like, you know, that's why I love talking about it and sharing about it. And that's why this episode is entirely about it, because, you know, I have just such a different idea on it. And it's like, you know, there's one side of the grass. It's a fucking gross sport. People use it to their advantage for drugs and, you know, political stance. And I think that's why I'm back doing it. That's why it means so much to me, because, you know, I got into bodybuilding from the standpoint of progressing my gym experiences and challenging myself from a self-discipline standpoint to be like, how much could I push the pace to look my absolute best? And I just use bodybuilding as a way to use it to measure my success, period. You could use anything you want to measure your success, but I just think if you've never played sports, you really, really do care about the aesthetics and you're interested in this side of it, and that's why I care about being an authority in this space now, is, you know, I think bodybuilding is a huge segue. You just have to have the right people to fucking show you, because that's why it's so important that I'm back. Because after I did my first show, I did Atlantics 2016, had a ton of fun, and, you know, I placed like 17th or 35 people, I think, placed 17. And, you know, from there, it was like, hey, 6 months, there's another show. And I went all in for that show, and I won my class in the next show. So I seen relatively some good success. And then my third show, I was just, to be honest, and if you've been here for a minute, that's when I started going down the bad path. I was around 23, 24, started getting into drugs, started partying, started to trust wrong people, and I allowed myself to just, you know, my mental health wasn't good. I started to decline in certain areas, and I just had a lot of things going on, you know. That's why from 22 to 23 to about 25, 26, I really was struggling, and then that's why 29 now, last 4 to 5 years, I built my life to what it is, because I was making sense of my turmoil of my brain. And that's why it's so important to be back here now, is because my last show where I placed my last show was, I placed fourth out of I think 20 people. And I think the show prior to that, I placed first. And then the 2 people that I beat at the first show, the third show, or the second show, sorry, that I won my class. I'm kind of rambling at this point, but, you know, I just want to give you guys an understanding of like where my brain was at, because to turn it around is talk about why it's important for me to do this now, is because when I won my class, my second show, the third show, a couple people beat me from the other show because I didn't take it serious. I was taking a lot of drugs. I was partying all the time. I was being a fucking idiot. I assumed I deserved things I shouldn't have. And then from that standpoint there, that was about bleeding into 2017, and I struggled from 2017 to about 2019, like heavily partying, heavily into drugs, all these different things. So for me to be back here now, it was a dream come true to be able to just build myself internally to get here externally. And what I mean by that is, you know, I've given this dream up of competing 5+ times. I've given it up because, you know, it was something I used to hold so close to my heart, but then it absolutely took everything from me. That's how I felt. Like I never knew anything other than the gym. The gym's what saved me because I didn't have very much family growing up. I grew up in a lot of shitty circumstances, and I like to give an example saying that, you know, when most people partied with their friends and like, you know, and then they had their family dinners, they had Christmas, they had like, you know, birthdays and celebrations. I was in the gym. That's all I had. And I know my family hates when I say this stuff because it makes it seem like I paint a bad picture. But to me, that's my reality of what I see. You know, especially with the car accident, I dealt with a lot of physical injuries and mental adversities from that, from the concussion. So, you know, I was struggling. So the gym has always been something that's been my saving grace. So after my shows and getting injured and not being able to train and, you know, my relationship with food and everything being so fucked up, it was just like I needed to heal myself. So to heal myself and to be back here in present day, recording this episode 4 weeks out, and this is the best prep I've ever had. My 4th prep is better than any other prep. And like, you know, I got a coach helping me. I've been doing a lot of it myself as well. And like, it's insane to be here. And I have a saying with my client, Candace, like, because we're competing together. And that's even a dream come true because I'm doing it for her. She's listening to me. She's seeing success. She's going to crush it. We're going to go there and clean sweep. And it's just a symphony. It's just like, orchestrated like classical music. It's going beautifully, and it means so fucking much to be here. And I'm going on a long-winded rant to paint this picture for you, because it's just something that, like, like dreams come true if you work for them. And when I decided that long time ago I wanted to just like focus on myself, heal myself internally, just change who I was and get back to where I'm at now, and just knew that it could have been done in a way better, more positive manner, and all these different things. Because the reason why I don't talk about bodybuilding much is because I believe bodybuilding, like I said, is just one of those things that is it's if you never played sports and you've never did a lot of physical activity, it's all you really got. And I just think, there's way more ways to introduce people to the sport than what there is currently. And that's why I don't talk about it much, because I'm trying to be the change amongst the community. And I got to kind of I think I said this in another episode or somewhere, where I got to let my actions speak louder than my words. And it's like, I want to be a way more of an authority of someone for people to trust, to see the two sides of bodybuilding. Because I'm not going to neglect the PEDs and all this bullshit that people do market and like that do hurt people in this industry. But I also got to highlight the benefits of the self-love, benefits of the self-compassion, the self-discipline. Not only from like a standpoint of looking in the mirror and loving who you see, but like something about the posing of just like being elegant in terms of just like being that person, just being proud of what you see and having your training style replicate wanting to look better in the mirror aesthetically and stuff. And not in an arrogant standpoint, because that's what I'm saying. Like the marketed point is the arrogant stuff. Genuinely, I remember I was so depressed at 20, 21 years old. I hated who I saw in the mirror. And now I love who I see. Like as I record this part right now, talking to you, I'm looking at myself in the mirror, just walking around the house with a microphone and stuff. So I think like that's what's so powerful about it. And like, all of the other attributes that come from the sport underlining that comes with the self-discipline to stay consistent on this one goal can translate into your life in so many other areas for you to grow. And that's what I want to pull out the skeleton of bodybuilding, to show how it can translate in so many other areas of life. Because if you can like stay so structured on your discipline of your nutrition, your workouts, your cardio, your mindset, your routines, and prove yourself you can do it for 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, 14, 16, 18, like 2022, and consistently do it, reverse out and get back into it, reverse out, get back into it. Not only will you physically be in the best shape of your life, but it's like your self-development mentally. You'll know who you are internally, especially if you're doing it for the right reasons and wanting to be happy and lead by example. Like the standards are just raised everywhere. And there's a saying that I think that's so crazy that with me and Emma, like she's a huge supporter of this. And us going to Ontario, it's me going to Ontario, it's Haley going to Ontario, it's Emma going to Ontario, it's Candace going to Ontario, Logan going to Ontario. Like we're all going to Ontario as a squad, all pulling on the same rope, because we all just support each other. And I think like organically bodybuilding can bring this out of a group of people, because it's not us just going to do a bodybuilding show, me and Candace and everyone supporting. It's just that's the commonality amongst us. That's how much energy can be derived from just staying so disciplined and structured on a goal. And imagine if you guys did that to build your guys' life. Imagine if you wanted to start a business with your friends and you stayed this structured on it. Imagine if you wanted to get your master's and you wanted to build like an impeccable fucking life and get into whatever it is that you see. Imagine if you just stayed that disciplined and structured on it. And I think that's the thing I want to bring out of bodybuilding to translate into the real world and show why mental health and mindset is so important amongst this subject, is because, if you can find somebody and things and avenues in this space that can help you go from, going on stage or getting as close as you can to be confident with who you see and physically in your skin, to then understanding, like I said, the skeleton of it that that underlies a huge positive undertone for like self-development and like structure and discipline and balance of just being just growing in life, And I think that's honestly the perfect way to end it, on a nice little rant with that, because I don't want to make this one too long-winded. It is kind of like over 10 minutes, and I try to make them 10 minutes now because, like I said, just going for quick impact. But I just wanted to go on a rant about like what this bodybuilding show means to me. And I don't know when you're going to listen to this, but as of right now, I'm 4 weeks out recording it. Every single thing is booked. The Airbnbs, the car rentals. We got the game plans of going to a museum of Blues Jam, the outlets. Show's a 1-day format, so we'll be in there 9:30 by 2-3 p.m. We'll be out and to enjoy the rest of our lives as champions. And, it's just surreal to be here. And I think that's why I wanted to just go on a rant about it, because I want you to understand that what this means to me is what I want your life to mean to you. And if you have a dream one day to do something that's like miraculous, like I'm talking about change your absolute motherfucking life on the most craziest fucking segue of however you can view it, whether it's a family legacy, whether it's a personal goal, whether it's financial success, emotional, whatever the fuck it is, like I just truly want you to be inspired by what I'm saying right now, because it all is a dream come true. And as I sit here and record this and continue to grow and forward, I just so grateful for it, you know. And I just think, you know, words, I guess, can't comprehend what this bodybuilding show means to me, but I want you to know that it's like there's a lot of stuff that can come from it that can translate into everybody just looking at themselves in the mirror just a little bit more positively and abundantly. And I'm going to fucking prove to the world that it's in there for everybody. But other than that, I appreciate you guys all. I do apologize if this is a little long-winded. But like I said, I appreciate you guys all. And I just wanted to give you, like I said, a piece of my heart to you guys, to you guys, you know, the listeners, because you guys are my people. But I appreciate you. Have a blessed motherfucking week. And keep doing what you do best. And that's show the motherfucker up. Let's go.
Prayers up. Life's hard, but we go harder, yeah, that's a fact. We ain't scared to lose a little, take a risk and make it back. Have you seen the way I train? Ain't no slipping off a track, cause we only move forward, ain't no way we